just blow a target up, right?
Yeah, it should be relatively easy even from the laning phase for them to do that. So you are already in game. Game 1 of Alpha versus TiltedBoys. A little bit of a smoke out from both sides, but really aggressive movement from Alpha. Got a good position in the high ground if someone does pop back in.
Dragonite is chilling. There, each strength boy covering a different stair, you know.
Yeah, like just showing their might in those stairs. Notorious might run into them, might face some overwhelming might, but no, they dodge out. No movement at all. I don't see TiltedBoys kind of walking that area anytime soon. They know something's up.
I'm surprised they didn't at least try the high ground, you know, poke a little bit, poke your head out, try to see if anyone is there. Like, this is Doom right now. He's like, hello, anyone there? Knock, knock.
Just taking a look-see. Should be an even rune trade now, though, considering that they didn't manage to really catch anyone out here. Not too exciting, as they do just all pick up 2 bounties each, break into their lanes. Of course, the mid lane is going to be a little bit more static, I believe. We've got the Invoker around. The Sentry does pick up the Obs, I believe, so they should at least have themselves a nice little ward advantage. Can feel pretty good.
Unfortunate for Mr. Invoker, but what can you do?
Yeah, sometimes you plant that ward early, the enemy just swings by from the enemy, from your own triangle, and plops a cheeky ward, and well, you can't do much about it. But still, taking a look at that mid, Volodka up against Soul. The DK versus the Invoker lane, this feels pretty static, right? It does feel like something where if your support doesn't come through, especially from Alpha, if you don't get the Mirana rotation, then basically you just farm.
I feel like even if they do come, you know, even if they do come over and visit the lane, it's still not going to be very significant unless you get the Invoker somehow really down low, which I don't see happening. He even is going Quaspex early on, so I feel that it's probably the least interesting lane. Just wait until everything that I said is wrong and there's utter bloodbath on the mid lane.
Find out, I suppose. I do believe your words, though, Lizard. I'm not sure if Alpha is going to be able to pierce through the Invoker early on. Still, taking a look up top, Ferte on that Morphling and Door on the Undying up against Joker and Monster on the Mirana and Beastmaster. We already have the early Wild Axis coming here from Monster as well in this lane. So, Wild Axis over the Boris in the Morphling lane. I'm not entirely sure if that's something I see too often. And he also doesn't have something like the Sage Mask or the Ring of Basilius, so sustaining the spam is a little bit more annoying. Does have the Mangoes up, but it's already empty of mana. No, early Tombstone down. Mangoes being popped, chasing down a little bit onto Monster. Might be enough. Zombies chase, and Dora gets the kill.
What happened to those zombies? They were rabid. They went from... what's the name? I forgot the name of the series. The Walking Dead zombies, where they're like literally crawling, to Last of Us zombies, where he's like jumping across tables, like in mad mode. It's the frenzy, right? But yeah, like they got an easy first blood. I'm not sure. You're mentioning axes. I guess axes are fine because you can recover later on at the Ancients, right? Like maybe that's the reason. Maybe Mirana is supposed to stack for him a little bit. I don't see any stacks happening right now, but maybe that's the case. The point of it.
Yeah, just allows a little bit of quicker farm, but you're not going to be doing too much to stop Verte in this case. He is still managing to build up his own farm in that lane. A pretty free lane so far as he goes 16-7. And with that first blood for Door, I mean, he just refills on the Mangoes. So he's all set to go with his own boots up. Down bot, Empyrean trying to find Notorious. The DOT does not last on the Grimstroke.
That's so close.
Does manage to back off. Very close. But this bot lane for Alpha should be almost like top. Like this should be a pretty kill-threatening lane. You get the stun, you get the cold feed. Oh, Joker starting to drop pretty low on the Mirana.
Come on.
Does manage to bail out in the nick of time.
You dive that, Door. You 100% dive that. You pop that Mango, you decay him one more time, you hit him.
Yeah. I think he expected Joker to run back instead of going back up top into the lane.
Yeah, I think we need...
He's kind of getting juked around.
we need a masterclass for Undying. If you are in diving towers minute 3, what are you actually doing? You know, what's the point? What's the point of Undying?
That's exactly how you want to play Undying. You want to go kind of unga bunga and just play like you're the strongest hero in the laning phase, because in a lot of ways you kind of are.
Yeah.
Still a nice little swing out for Joker, grabs the water rune as well. So, I mean, you don't really care about this too much if you're Valodka, but it still allows him to not have to go back home and try to go for a pull.
Even if you die as an Undying, right? Like you still just say, hey, I'm an Undying. I did it on purpose. I lost all my mana. I need to refresh.
Exactly.
There you go. Yeah.
You just come back in and you start spamming your spells again. Down bot has been going a little bit of back and forth. Ezekiel dropping fairly low. But he does have the nice chain lightning, and they're actually chasing. Managed to get the Inkswell off. One more hit, and the lightning will do it.
It's so annoying,
Ezekiel.
right? Yeah.
It's so spammy. 50 mana for 140 damage.
Especially now when everyone is buying mangoes and stuff, like you always have enough mana to spam it out. Like, Sven
you're never going to run out.
Sven definitely didn't expect to die there.
I'm a little bit surprised that Alpha are just not able to really threaten with her Stormhammer combination with the Cold Feet. Like Ezekiel's been dropping fairly low, but you're at the point now as the Doom. You've got enough points in Scorcher to kind of try to threaten back. He's also got Infused Raindrops on, so nuking him down is just that much harder. And already looking like a pretty solid start for TiltedBoys. Like, they definitely don't look tilted.
Just wait a bit. It will happen. But I agree, yeah. Like usually, I guess what the problem was here, Ancient Apparition was playing in the jungle versus Grim way too much. Instead of trying to like duel up on the Doom, he was fighting the Grim instead. At the same time, if you're not fighting the Grim, maybe Inkswell always breaks your combos, so hard to say.
Yep, trying to go again. Inkswell does connect onto Empyrean, and Torres does steal away the rune. Still trying to go into Emp, but Soul is around, is out of mana. Empyrean taking some hits, is getting the slows off, and Notorious now does get punished. Empyrean manages to bail out.
Nice.
So,
nice bait,
trade
right?
back.
Yeah, nice bait, because he had sticks and a fairy fire, so he healed up quite a lot. Grimstroke got a little bit greedy, went in there, paid the price in the end.
Yeah, and even though it's not a core kill, you know, the support movement still kind of pays off for Alpha. They're applying that pressure onto the mid-tier 1. They've got the Soul Ring up now for Soul, so you should be able to just pop the Dragon Form once more when it's up and threaten that tower. Everyone else just kind of stuck in their lanes. Arrow lands onto door. Not too much to this one for the Undying. Gets a Soul Rip off and the Tombstone down with a Decay.
Bonus Tombstone.
Try and stall this one out. Can he find Joker? Not quite. Bonus. The Deny does come in from Ferte. And Monster now just taking a few more hits, but you're trading supports. Not the worst feeling in the world. You're still farming pretty well here on Ferte. Although you are starting to see Rises pull ahead. And his lane on the Sven is starting to feel a lot better despite that early loss.
I think both carries, right? Like Sven and Morphling doing all right in their respective lanes. Morphling may be a little bit better, but then DK is doing much better than Invoker. Like Invoker, what can you do on mid lane, right? Like this guy is gonna buy a Soul Ring, so your EMP isn't really that threatening anyway. Ezekiel,
no. Down bot. The stun did come in with a Cold Feet, but Inkswell not going to be able to do much. That does dissuade Rises from committing. Do you get the Embrace out onto Empyrean, but again, not enough as well. Lots of back and forth trades. Ezekiel is fairly low now, though. Has the Headrest to try to regen up. And Rises still has enough mana for a Stormhammer, although that Chain Lightning, that range Ezekiel can spam it from. I mean, it is painful.
Yeah. Balopka, he went for the Meteor Hammer. At the same time, he cannot approach the tower. So, like, you really want to use that a couple of times, but Dragonite is like, nope, I'm just gonna continue pushing. You want to approach the tier 1 even. Oh, Doom! Oh, hell yeah, let's
Doom.
go.
Pop out, they kill Empyrean off with it. I mean, you know, as long as you find that kill, you're kind of fine. Probably not gunning for anything too big. Rice is still rushing forward here. Has the God Strength, twacking away at Notorious, still has the mana for the Stormhammer, and does manage to get it off, but here's the turnaround from Ezekiel. Inkswell up, And Rises taken out.
At least he gets the kill,
They do
right?
find Notorious, sure. You know, but he dies first, so Ezekiel... I mean, he's not getting any EXP for that. Not getting any too much off of it, but you still trade... I mean, you trade the support for your own life. Could have been worse. Still not ideal here for Alpha.
Oh, for sure. Like, basically why he popped it, he wanted to take the stacks as well. He wanted to protect them. Now Doom TPing top. They really want to defend this tower.
They've lost a tombstone and a trapped up monster. The arrow doesn't connect to anyone on top of him. Is taken out. Ezekiel finding another for his trouble.
Ferte
And should be able to defend as well.
This is not a kill, right? Like they're just tickling the Morphling. It's completely fine. Going for Lincolns first, by the way. And that's something that I see from most Morphlings at the moment. Like if you're playing Morphling, it's again allowed to go Lincolns first. But especially in this game, like you're playing versus so many point-and-click stuns.
Yeah, it's good protection. But you did mention earlier on you don't want to see the cut and dry sort of build on the Morphling. As the Dragon Tail does connect along with the arrow into Valodka down mid. Cold Feet down as well, or the Vortex down as well, but Door showing up more than enough as they managed to get the Cold Snap onto Joker, but the damage is still there. Kill off Valodka with a good flank from Imp. And Soul, I mean, he's perfectly fine. Regenning True. Good rotations out from Alpha.
Nicely done by them. Like, at least they get something, right? Like, this mid lane has went... I think they should play around the Dragonite, basically. He feels like the strongest one. And Doom now... Okay, he gives out a kill. I'm not sure what Doom is doing on top lane. You TP top, but I really feel like you need to run back down bottom instantly and take that tier 1 tower. Like, this is something that where Division 1 and Division 2 teams are kinda... they differentiate themselves, right? Definitely. Div 1 team wouldn't even TP top with the Doom to help defend that tier 1. Instead, he would be pressuring the tier 1 on the bottom lane. Probably buying Meteor Hammer at this point on Doom. I guess they have one already on... By the way, he's buying a pipe. What the hell is this? What's going on?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I haven't seen the Doom Aura build in a long time. Smoke out as well from ITB. They get the Tornado and the Hammer onto Soul, but no one else connects with that smoke. The supports just kind of roaming top.
Hey, why are you buying a pipe? Can you let's converge our two analyst minds, okay? Because you're not really a play-by-player. I'm not. We're both analysts.
Yes.
What's happening? Why are you buying a pipe? Like, okay, you're playing into AA, right? That's the only magic source that's actually bothering you. And it isn't even about the magic damage. It's about the frostbite that's applied.
Oh. Get the Dragon Tail. Oh, Ferrite just melting. Should just pop. And there it goes.
A pipe
Ice
ain't
Blast
gonna
on
help.
point. No, it's not. It's not. I'm really not sure why. Maybe they feel like no one else can build it up on their team. Like you wouldn't rush something like the Hood of Defiance on your Undying or Grimstroke. And I don't think it's high priority. Like if you were going to go Aura, there's an argument for... Well, I guess Guardian Reeves also falls into that short point where if you're caught by the blast, you're just still kind of screwed. But I don't know. Like this is an interesting... I say interesting. It's very different coming out from Ezekiel. And maybe if they win this one out, we get to ask him.
Yeah, he was winning the lane, right? Like he was doing really well for himself. If he just continued, like if he just sat there, bought like I don't even know whatever he wanted to, just not a pipe, a Meteor Hammer, a Blink Dagger, a BKB, a Greaves. Like even though you're playing into AA, I don't care. Like they're still like, really strong item at the moment. I guess that's the reason. You're not going Greaves, you're going pipe. That's it. Like, you're playing into AA.
I suppose. I'm still used to most offlane Dooms still rushing Midas as well. On top of anything else, you know, they just kind of want to double down on the greed. Get big, get their farm. I suppose in this case, you do want to give yourself more early activity. You're expecting your Invoker to have to eat up a lot of space as well. So you kind of want to be able to frontline as the push is coming in full force for Alpha up top. Take that tier 1, no defense. Down bot, you are shoving in with Ferta as well. A bit of a slower process, but does have the right click damage to sustain. True. Side of Alpha isn't quite willing to defend.
I'm surprised that they're not trading at least, right? Like tier 1 bottom or tier 1 mid. Like Invoker has a Meteor Hammer and they still didn't take a single tower 14 minutes in. Like the whole idea of the item is kind of lost on him now.
Yeah, it's not just that. Like he has this urn as well, and Volodka has not really been active enough to start to farm up some charges. Maybe with his haste up, they start to find something as they do blink Dragon Tail arrow onto door. Trying to rush forward though, but they miss a tornado onto Soul. They might be able to find Joker. And they do. There's a charge up, and there's the Meteor Hammer.
Yes.
So it all took us a ruin coming out for Volodka.
Well, at least he did rotate, and now, because it was haste, he can maybe rotate back mid and defend the tower. He can TP even. Yep.
TPing in the middle of danger, but no detection to kind of spot it right there as he goes into Ghost Walk. They've got the Fortify to hold up the objective just for a little bit longer, but with Rises around with a full Mask of Madness and the Echo Saber hits fast enough, just clear it out anyway. So you're down your tier 1 mid and top here for TiltedBoys. Alpha only downed their bot. Feels pretty good for it being hunted down.
He pumped up the
strength.
He pumped up the strength already, and I believe Lincoln's is flying over to him. Did he complete full Lincoln's on Morphling? Like if he did, yeah, this game becomes, okay, this game became just much easier for him. He doesn't have to worry about instant DK initiation with the ulti. Like he at least has time to react to it now.
Yeah, he should be able to try and bail himself out of that situation. It's going to be a little bit longer until I think Alpha starts to clump up and just double down on casting those single target spells onto this one target instantly. So you've got room. You've got space to farm. Really even game so far here, Lizard. 7-6 at 16, around 16 minutes in. 1k lead. Very slight lead for Alpha. Rises up at the top. With the state of the game going the way it is right now, like, who feels better in this game state, right? Like, it's a very even game. It's a lot closer than I think both teams would like it to be. Which side feels safer in this state?
I'm not sure which side feels much safer. It comes down to, let's see, Volodka first. Is he gonna fall? They have a blink on DK, right? Do they?
Yeah, blink forward didn't stop.
Rip.
They've got the dust and the blast.
He didn't believe.
They don't connect. That is interesting.
But into the pit, right? And this was, I was gonna connect to this. Like basically, right now, Alpha feels stronger. Like with this AA and Beastmaster, they can control Rosh, they can take Aegis. It looks like TiltedBoys might try to defend this, but I don't think it's an easy fight for them to take.
Tombstone down, rushing forward. Instant roar out. They're blowing down Ezekiel. There's the double doom coming out. It is on the 2 cores. And they are dropping low. Rise is not going to be able to sustain true. They still find Ezekiel in the end.
Okay,
but that's it.
They might even take Rosh, right? Like they go straight in. Monster is
Meteor Hammer's there. They've got the output. Monster is looking for some way to steal, but there's no way.
Okay,
side of ITV. Soul jumps in. They get the arrow. They instantly blow up the Aegis without the blast. Ferta taken out and just neutralizing that Rosh advantage. So they take an awkward fight in Alpha. They back off, but they immediately take the Aegis afterwards, evening out the game.
Yeah, I felt like at first I felt that they were in a stronger position. I still think Door almost. He probably would have died if the initial damage connected. Yeah. And
look
the
at
arrow.
That pipe. The pipe's blocking it too. He's not ticking down. There you go.
Nicely done, by the way. When it comes to the Rosh fight, TiltedBoys and Dying pops the Tombstone, forces them out, double Doom. Everything went as it should for TiltedBoys. Guess Alpha should have backed out after they used the AA ulti. Just wait the AA ulti and then go back into the pit, finish it off. Maybe that was a better course of action, but they didn't want to waste the Dragon form, I guess, so they got punished for it.
Yeah. Just a little bit keen on trying to get something out from that field smoke are slightly punished. And you do reach the point where you've got Volodka and his Midas up, so you can start scaling up. He's going on to his own Lincolns. All this protection from the single target stuns. It's gonna start hard as they blink forward. Soul had the Hawk vision. And the blast is there. Taken out. Door closed on door. As they're going for that tier 2 tower push. Still trying on mid. Rises being surrounded here. Pushed back by Tornado. Has the hits, but the ice wall, it's up. No BKB, can't run forward and is just chipped away. Soul comes in with the Dragon Tail. It's just too late.
Just as I was about to say that it feels like Alpha's draft is much easier to execute at this point. They lose their carry. They still do take the tier 2 on top lane, I guess, so that's kind of nice, but overall, I feel like Sven, in this sort of a game, Sven should never be dying. Like, you have too many heroes that are doing work for you, so why are you up front? Why are you being picked off? Like, just chill in the triangle and be AFK. That's how it feels to me, right? Chill in the triangle until you get the blink, and then you can join them. But damn, that's a Midas queued up by Ezekiel. You were talking about Invoker Midas before, right? Like, he's the one that... Yeah, so they're preparing themselves for some 80-minute game. Division 2 NA, welcome John Xfire. Like, I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, they are. So they managed to get the blink onto Joker, but no follow through. Cold Snap is there, but Tornado does miss. Joker still has leap, does bail out, but yeah, they're swinging back. Like, Ezekiel going for the Midas after the pipe blink of all things, so wanting to scale up now, expecting a little bit of a slower haul. I suppose if you do reach that ultra late game, it does feel a little bit better here for TiltedBoys.
It does. Like, as long as you don't get clipped by AA, that's like always the problem on Morphling. Doom has a weird item build. At the same time, he's playing into Ancient Apparition, he's playing into BKB piercing abilities, so I don't know, I still value BKB more. Okay, I'm playing into Beastmaster, so what? Right, like I still think that BKB is solid, so that you can actually jump in and Doom properly, and if they roar you, sure, whatever. But if they don't, oh, he's actually going for a Lotus.
Yeah, he switches out again.
Switches out. Which is, I guess, fine. Can help the Morphling a bit from being initiated. He's got that
I'm
linkage
curious
as
about
well.
one thing. Like, if you do have someone soul binded, and let's say you soul bind but you don't apply Doom and you have Lotus on yourself, you get roared and the Beastmaster soul bind someone, does it soul bind the reflected roar? Yeah.
I think what happens is game crashes and Gaben appears on your desktop and he announces Half-Life 3.
Let's make it happen. BKB forced out of Rises early from a little poking and prodding. That's a big resource for nothing. Rises not gonna have that. I know that's pretty scary. He got spooked out. So they're pushing on to that tier 2.
They are pushing top though. They're going tier 3 as well. This is happening. So.
Oh yeah.
If you gotta respond boys, in. You gotta dip this. What happened to Invoker? Why is he chilling there? Did he get stunned in the base?
I'm not sure. It takes a little bit of time to jump in, so they fail their follow through, but they've still got the combination. Tornado finally comes out. Ice Blast though, catching the Doom, but they're chasing down Monster. Monster still has that roar. Ice Wall down. No one to back him up. He's taken down as well. A little bit slower in the response, but you know what? It still works out for TiltedBoys.
Yeah. Thank you, Observer, for showing me the arrow cooldown, because I'm just using the PGM. That's all. Notorious does fall to the beasts of Beastmaster in the end. But while all of that's happening on top lane, you defended the tier 2, right? You lost 3 heroes. It's definitely not worth it. I'm not saying it's worth it, but you alleviated the pressure a little bit. Like, Rises is farming up. He got his blink now finally, and from this point onwards, like, you can actually take proper fights if you're alpha. Everyone is ready. Before this blink pickup, you weren't really ready to fight.
Now it feels a little bit easier for Rises to get himself in position. Let's see if they'll find themselves in that position anytime soon. As the God turn fades, Rises still has a little bit more over a minute to kind of get that done. But Ezekiel's got that Lotus Orb up. So a full complement of defensive items already up for Doom here. So we'll try to rush shop. They see Rises, not going to be able to really chase in. Angle not quite in the right position. The side of Alpha should be able to back off now, but the lines are still being drawn. Soul wants them to keep pressuring top. And that tier 3 is down to 1000 HP. Not too much left, especially for a Beastmaster to rush into. The bot tier 2 is still set to fall, though. And Ferta just shows up and right-clicks. And he is inching towards that Scotty timing you talked about here. Gonna be massive for him.
I think it's massive, but he's still going like a completely standard route. Scotty is good, but if you get stunned, you still get a ulti, you're gonna die, like no matter how big you are. So I don't know. He decided to rely on his teammates to deal with the ancient apparition, and his teammates also aren't itemizing for that. Like you don't have anyone else to do that for you. So it's a little bit scary from that point of view. They're buying another Lincoln's on Walker. Lincoln's on this guy. I think Doom has Lotus, so very defensive. But someone needs to jump that AA. Someone needs to mess him up before you fight.
As long as Empyrean stands back, he should be fairly well protected here, considering how far back he can stand. Side of Alpha, invading that top jungle. Again, going back for a little shove in up top.
Midas,
giving a lot of room around. Yeah, starting to get that build up now. On Volodka. Not going to be punished for walking up on the Midas, though. Feels all right. Roche timer is going to see it right about now. If it's going to be a quick one, a bit of a longer one. In the middle of the pack, 1 minute 42 until it's up. So, get a little bit of patience from both sides before gunning for something new. And the side of TiltedBoys, though, I mean, again, they've got this entire bot area to play with. Ferta is still not being pressured out. And you're getting your value from your Midas for Volodka. So, guess all's well ends well so far.
Not sure what's up, like why are they playing in such a passive manner, but this is probably one of the more passive games I've seen out of all the games in Division 2 NA. Like, usually NA is just bloodbath. You know, you've been there, you've done it.
Oh, yeah.
You know how it is. Madness and bloodbath. This is a bit more methodical. Double Doom.
Yeah, they instantly burst down again, dying, but the double doom comes out onto Rises still. The Ice Blast connects onto Ferta. Not the safest here, roared up. He's down as well. Rises will pay for it with his life, but they found a morph. They forced the buyback from Door as well. Still get with the chase down. Soul, BKB, trying to fight back onto Ezekiel. Gets a Lotus Orb off, but it's not going to stop anything major as the damage is slowly pumping through. Axis coming in. Blink forward, Dragon Tail into Volodka. Ballsy play from Soul. Not going to be punished for it. Ice Wall to kind of protect, and they will be able to make their way out. But that's 3 heroes down from TiltedBoys for that kill on the Sven. And they got the double doom, but it was not enough.
Yeah, because Dragonite already popped his form. And I feel like maybe he shouldn't have popped Manta on a Morphling. Like, because he popped Manta, he couldn't really juke away from the Sven. So Sven just kind of cleaved through him. Also, Beastmaster blinked in, helped out, but look at this. Let's just see. Like, Morphling comes in, he gets clipped by a ulti, right? Like, that's obviously a problem already. But I felt like maybe he could have moved here a bit back. Yeah, Beastmaster would have gotten him anyway, but wouldn't matter.
I think he was trying to Manta dodge the timing of the blast, but was just maybe a little bit early there, or a little bit late on using it. Yeah, and that just led to him just falling down. Really big counterplays coming out from Alpha, and they get a little bit more disciplined on the rush as well. They back off, seeing all the respawns up. I feel like this time, though, they've got the window to actually play that rush as the blast is back up, Roar is back up, Doom's still down. And see if they'll try to recommit. Maybe look for the pick off first, but nah. It's going to play it safe here.
I 100% agree. I feel like they should go into the pit this time around. They smoke up. It looks like they might want to go for a pick off first. And they're wrapping all the way around on top.
They had pretty good wards down, at least in the lane.
Notorious. He actually dodges the gang.
Oh, that's a bigger one.
Yeah.
Volodka? No. Blink forward BKB. Ezekiel backed off with his own blink. That's a lot being utilized here from Alpha. But they'll pop the God Strength, go for the Roche. Monster, maybe chase down a bit, but no.
I think you contest this. Like, if you're Dire, you definitely contest this at this point.
They're running up now. They managed to get the Doom off. Onto Rises, get the chain stun as well. The Sven, double force staff out, but not enough. Roar out onto Ezekiel. As Fertes coming in from the sidelines as well. He's got the full Scotty. He's got the slows to keep them in place. And they find more. Empyrean taken out for his hubris as they are chasing down Soul as well. The output in Morphling, yeah, it's just chipping away. Soul doesn't last too long. Now Monster, they're diving to your trees. They're looking for the additional kill. It's nothing to stop them from this chase. As Ezekiel, BKB forced out from Monster, still chipping away.
Yeah, go Fountain, boys. Let's go.
Deep dives coming out there from TiltedBoys, but they take away the Roche there.
By the time they go rush, this A is gonna respawn. He's gonna clip them with the ulti. I swear, if they don't manage to take it cleanly because of that, I mean, they will. There's no chance. I don't feel like the ulti is gonna stop this on time. But yeah, they really do super hard.
Well, that was a lot of commitment. They will still find it. Oh, the Ice Blast is there, and brave play from Joker trying to steal. Doesn't quite connect.
You have to respect
does still
that,
work
right?
out in the end.
Yeah, you still go.
Attempt is made. Sabo, just trying to, I guess, live up to his namesakes. And with, going to the moon with Bitcoin. I don't know where it's going with that.
Yeah, sure,
Something like that.
But he's missing his boy Satoshi. He's not.
Oh yeah.
His monster is standing in for him. So unfortunate. They need both of them to go to the moon. Like that's how it works.
Yes, that's when the stonks of Alpha starts rising. Keep holding until it rises there. With rises, see, it's all connected. Rises. Satoshi.
Oh
Bitcoin?
my god.
Oh goodness.
I'm opening Binance right now. Stop it.
Stonks are rising.
Stonks are rising, yeah.
TiltedBoys right now, though.
Let's go,
they are
Doge.
5K up. They've managed to take a good set of fights. And Alpha, I have to say, we were talking about the Sven pickup earlier on here, Lizard. It's not been good. Rises, I mean, I don't think he's been mis-executing outside of that early BKB use down in tier 2, but every single time he gets doomed. For the DK, it's no problem. For the Sven, it's a massive problem.
Yeah. I feel like I would disagree a tiny little bit. I think that they're definitely misusing the Sven and the way he should be played maybe earlier on. Because I had the feeling they had this game. Like they just needed to close it out. If the Sven was just farming. The problem is like Sven was always 2k behind Morphling. That shouldn't be the case. Like, if you're playing a Sven, you're supposed to be farming those stacks, getting bigger and bigger, staying at least a few K ahead of your enemy core. But let's see.
Yeah, they're going to be trying here. Godstrand pop. They do manage to jump onto Ezekiel, but he did have the Lotus. Force Staff away from the Ice Blast as well. It's taking a little bit longer, but does get roared up and taken out.
Spine back.
They are starting to come back in. Buybacks there. Doom still available. Soul not going to be able to TP out of this one as the BKB fades, and he's taken out along with Monster. And TiltedBoys already making good use of that buyback. Empyrean stuck on the wrong side of the map as well.
They get 3. They did force a buyback on Doom. By the way, I was reluctant when I saw I was reluctant to comment on the Lotus Sword when I saw the Doom buying it. But man, are they spamming him with all the single target spells. Like the stun goes and they go on him a bit more. Then the roars himself. It's like I don't have to Doom, I guess, like you guys are using all your spells against you, so.
Yeah, it's been working out well, and Valobka manages to nail that Tornado Meteor Hammer combination to find a solo pick-off onto Joker here as well. And now the siege begins once more for TiltedBoys onto the tier 2, onto the high ground. You do have the blast available from Empyrean, but you don't have the Dragon form for a few more seconds along with Aurora. It's going to be a little bit awkward. And Ferte just hits so hard with that damn Alacrity up. Just melting the towers right now. So protected as well with the multiple Lincolns. Like, how do you single target stun this guy when he has 2 Lincolns actives?
Probably
like it's
not
happening.
Yeah, you're not gonna do it. And the Lotus Orb from the Doom.
Yeah.
It feels good to be this morph.
He's just getting everything he wants. Alpha in dire straits now. I mean, if you were on Alpha right now, well, what's the game plan? Like, you kind of as you mentioned, misutilized the rises. You know, he doesn't have any sort of gold lead. Your high ground's just being ripped apart with no congestion.
You gotta go from behind and maybe catch a walker first. Like that's a play. Or maybe duel. As you're not killing the Morphling any longer. So if you could find a different target, that would probably be better. But yeah, they're struggling to find the right targets.
It's just not lining up. They don't have control on the map. They still have decent vision that they can use with the Hawks, but it just doesn't feel like they've been able to find that flanking maneuver they need to. And they, you know, like it looked decent. They were taking tier 2s earlier on Alpha. They were onto the tier 3s, but well, they'll try now. Smoke out here. Everything's back off cooldown except Moonlight Shadow. So let's see if they can find that angle forward. Gold Silver Edge up now on Ferte as well. A little bit more escaping for him as the Aegis does expire here. Dragon form up. And TiltedBoys playing on the right side. They've got the Hex up on Volodka. Some more control coming in here as well.
I love how excited you are about the Hex. They got that Hex. They're gonna Hex
they've
people.
Got it. Yeah, they've got the double hex, man.
Double Hex, man.
So big with the double
Soul
doom.
breaks it.
You probably don't need that, but yeah.
What happens when you soulbind Soul?
He gets double souled. He finds a secondary soul.
Okay.
And you know, it's like
you don't have to answer every stupid question.
No, I have to. This is exactly what I do with Mike. I give him the stupid question. So they get the Doom up onto Rises once more. Sunstrike on top and twack down, taken out. One more for the road here.
What happens when you EMP?
Oh, that's a positive feedback loop. That should resonate, right? So the EMP resonates and you gain mana instead.
Damn.
That's how it works. That's the science.
We find perpetual model free energy, right?
Exactly it. As the BKBs pop on and Soul pushed back. BKB, Soul bind out. Oh, damage coming out from Rises. Ice Blast forward. Can they catch anything? No. Notorious is fine. Rises is low. And the Mega Creeps are up and running for the side of TiltedBoys. 14 to 22, 36 minutes in. And now Alpha, well, they've got to play Defense of the Ancient. This is it.
But they have decent heroes for it, right? Like the Sven with the Cleave, the DK. Like they can defend. It's all on TiltedBoys to see how much they want to wait. Like they can wait for this next rush. 2% win probability. That's double of what I would give them, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's a little bit more fate coming out, marginally, but 2 times more. It's a massive amount when you frame it that way. Full BKB up on Ezekiel now. And Alpha, I mean, it's so rough. Like they had a pretty decent time coming out of their lanes. He had this really great time for Soul, but Rise is just not able to get that lead that he's been trying to build up for. And up against the Mega Creeps, I mean, yeah, you can handle it, but how are you going out? Double damage on Ferte, 2 hits.
Oh.
That's Joker. That's Joker having a Joker moment right now, I'm sure.
Right there. Yeah, he's just laughing, you know. You know the laughter.
Yeah.
You know which one. Yeah, he starts crying in the end, obviously, but it begins with the laughter.
Yeah. Begins with a laughter. Always does as you start to lose your mind.
You've had those moments, right? Like in Dota. Dota takes all of us. For me, it was probably Tinker patches. They drove me to that place, you know.
Tinker's an experience. So they tried to jump, but the Lincolns is there. They didn't manage to pop the roar, and Monster's gone with no buyback. Buyback and Joker, but their tier force is just under siege.
It was
side of TiltedBoys not fully committing there yet.
It was a nice attempt, the Hawk to break the Lincolns plus Beastmaster to jump in and roar, but he mantas and then he kills the Beast instead. So Ferte just outplaying them a bit. I think if you're going to this game too, if you're Alpha, you just ban the Morphling. Let's see Ferte on something else, because Morphling for him looks... it doesn't look Div 2, you know?
No,
like
it looked really top tier.
Yeah. It looks like a top tier Morphling, so if you're in Division 2 and you have a top tier hero, chances are you either don't belong in Div 2 or you don't have a big hero pool because you're just playing a couple of heroes, right? So maybe force him to play something else if you're going into game 2.
Yeah. Right, to test Verte. See how far he can carry himself with other heroes.
Right now,
that's...
Did he impress you? Did he impress you with the Morphling?
Yeah, he has. Like it looks solid. Like he's been playing really well. He's been trying stuff. He tried to Manta dodge out of the Ice Blast, didn't quite work out, but he's been so hyper aggressive as well. Like yes, this is a bit of a bit more in the initial build-up, a cookie cutter build, but now he's got Silver Edge along with a Blink. So he is going in for that jump into the back line, clear out something like the AA before it's trouble, clear out some of his single target control. And he's just been performing so well. Like all of TiltedBoys, I can see what you were saying with them coming in as the favorites, despite Alpha being, from Div 1, having a pretty experienced player. TiltedBoys actually look, all things considered, outside of a couple of weird build-ups, pretty solid.
They just look a bit cleaner, right? Like overall.
Yeah. Like it definitely feels like, this is a team that could be in Div 1 if they maintain that kind of playstyle. I mean, whether or not they'd last in Div 1 is another thing, but definitely, a cut above other Div 2 teams for sure.
Yeah, I want to see TiltedBoys in Division 1. Fart Studios and TiltedBoys, like the best that NA can give us. Let's go.
What names too, huh? TiltedBoys, like definitely something that sounds like a very NA name. So they go for the Moonlight Shadow here in Alpha, trying to find those TiltedBoys. Roshan is off.
Ezekiel, he
jump in. He got the Doom again. Rises just a non-factor this game. Looking for more.
GG.
Hex out onto Monster. GG is called. And Alpha with a Hail Mary play just do not find the connections. And TiltedBoys. I mean, there was some awkward things coming out there, right? We questioned stuff like the pipe on Ezekiel early on. We questioned maybe a little bit more on the Lotus Orb. Just